The idea of actually sending people to Mars, it's kind of the ultimate space dream, isn't it?
It absolutely is that final frontier feel.
And NASA calls it their horizon goal, which I think really sums up that long-term vision.
Hmm.
So today, we wanted to do a deep dive specifically into NASA's perspective, what they're saying about getting humans to the red planet.
Right. We've been digging through their official site, news updates, mission details, multimedia stuff.
Yeah, trying to piece together their actual plan, not just the headlines.
Exactly. It's not just wishful thinking. There's a real complex strategy behind it.
So we're going to look at the why, according to NASA, the, let's face it, enormous challenges,
Oh, huge.
what tech they're developing, and what they hope to, find out when they get there.
Basically cutting through the noise to get to NASA's core thinking on this.
Yeah, think of it as our tour through the official Mars playbook. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first. Why Mars? What's NASA's fundamental justification for this massive, massive undertaking?
Well, it's really interesting how they frame it. It's not just let's go plant a flag. Mars is positioned as crucial for understanding our universe and even ourselves.
You mentioned the horizon goal idea.
Exactly. That points to a strategic place.
Right.
But the science objectives they lay out are really the heart of it. Number one is the hunt for life.
Past or present?
Both, really. The potential for finding evidence of past microbial life or maybe even, something still hanging on.
Is there anything specific driving that hope?
Definitely. Curiosity rover, for instance, found organic molecules, the building blocks,
Wow. Okay, not life itself, but...
but a very strong hint that the right ingredients, the conditions, might have been there once. So looking for fossilized microbes is a huge priority.
And finding that would be monumental.
Completely revolutionary. It would basically say life isn't just an Earth thing. Think about the implications for finding it elsewhere.
Right. Okay, so the search for life is key. What else?
The second big thing is learning about planetary evolution, specifically Earth's. Mars offers a kind of planetary comparison.
How so?
Well, we think Mars was warmer, wetter, maybe more Earth-like, billions of years ago. Understanding why it changed into the cold, dry place it is now.
Could tell us about our own planet's climate and future.
Precisely. Lessons about habitability, climate change. It's directly relevant to Earth.
That's a powerful argument studying there to understand here. Any other core reasons?
Yeah, the technology driver aspect.
Yeah.
Just the sheer difficulty of getting to Mars and living there forces us to innovate like crazy.
Pushes the boundaries.
Totally. Advanced propulsion, life support that recycles everything, robotics. NASA is clear that developing this tech has benefits way beyond space exploration, spin-offs for Earth.
Sure, you always hear about the spin-offs.
And underlying it all are those big questions. Was Mars really habitable? Could it be again? Maybe. What does its history tell us about planets in general? It's fundamental science.
Okay, so it's this mix of pure scientific curiosity, potential existential discoveries about life, learning about Earth, and driving technology forward. That makes sense. Now let's talk scale. Because space is, well, vast. And Mars isn't exactly a weekend trip.
Now, that's putting it mildly. NASA points out the distance changes constantly, as the planets orbit.
Right.
At its closest, it's around 33 million miles. But when they're on opposite sides of the sun, it could be 249 million miles.
Whoa. So the round trip.
Easily over 1 billion miles.
Yeah.
Maybe way over, depending on the trajectory.
1 billion miles. How do we even wrap our heads around that? Can you compare it to something?
Well, think about the Artemis missions going to the moon. A huge achievement.
Absolutely. Monumental.
A potential Mars trip could be like 1,000 times farther than that.
1,000 times. Okay, that helps. That is immense.
It really puts the challenge into perspective.
And timeline-wise, when does NASA actually suggest humans might make this journey? Knowing these things can slip, of course.
Their public statements, their planning documents, they generally point towards sometime in the 2030s for the first potential human missions.
The 2030s, so still a ways off, but kind of on the horizon.
Exactly. It's the target they're working towards, but yeah, lots of hurdles to clear first. Any one of them could shift things.
Understood. Okay, so we know why NASA wants to go, and we have a sense of the mind-boggling distance. Now, the really juicy part. How do people actually live there?
Right.
I mean, thin atmosphere, mostly CO2, crazy temperature swings. NASA mentions Nanage 284 Fahrenheit up to 86 F, and it's toxic.
It's incredibly hostile. So, yeah, survival is challenge number one. Let's start with breathing.
How do you get oxygen on a planet where there basically isn't any breathable air?
This is where ISRU comes in situ resource utilization, using what's already there.
Living off the land?
Kind of, yeah. The key experiment here is AMOXY, Mars Oxygen ISRU experiment.
Okay, AMOXY, what does it do?
It's designed to prove we can pull carbon dioxide, which makes up like 96% of the Martian atmosphere, and chemically split it. It uses high temperatures, electrolysis, to break the CO2 into breathable oxygen, O2, and carbon monoxide.
Wow, so it literally makes air from the Martian atmosphere.
That's the goal. And the oxygen isn't just for breathing, it's also a vital component of rocket fuel.
Oh, for the trip home.
Exactly. Imagine how much mass you save if you don't have to haul all your return fuel and all your breathing oxygen from Earth. It's a game changer.
That is seriously clever. Okay, breathing potentially sorted by Maba'is. What about eating? Can't pack billions of miles worth of sandwiches.
No. Resupply missions for fresh food are just not feasible given the distance and time. So NASA's pouring research into sustainable, long-duration food systems.
What does that involve? Like super nutritious paste?
Well, maybe some efficient nutrition, but also variety, taste. Astronaut morale is important on a multi-year mission. They're looking at food stability, preservation.
And growing things. I know they do that on the ISS.
Yes, exactly. Those plant growth experiments on the space station veggie, PONDS, are crucial. They're figuring out how to cultivate crops in microgravity and eventually on Mars. Testing lights, watering systems, nutrients.
Martian greenhouses?
Could be. It's essential for providing fresh supplements and reducing reliance on prepackaged food.
Okay, food is a work in progress. Water? We know there's ice, but how do you get it, purify it, and reuse it efficiently?
Water is absolutely critical, and the focus here is on closed-loop life support, meaning systems that recycle pretty much everything. Water from breath, sweat, urine, purifying it back to potable quality, also reclaiming oxygen from CO2 exhaled by astronauts.
Like a mini Earth system inside the habitat.
That's the idea. Aiming for near-total recycling to minimize the huge amount of water you'd otherwise need to launch from Earth. They test these advanced systems rigorously on the ISS.
Makes sense. You have to be incredibly efficient.
Now, powering all this, the life support, MOXIE, the science gear, especially with those infamous dust storms. Solar seems risky. You nailed it. Solar power is great, but those planet-encircling dust storms can block sunlight for months. And Mars is farther from the sun anyway. Plus, you have long Martian nights.
So what's the alternative?
NASA sees reliable, continuous power as non-negotiable. That's why they're seriously investigating fission surface power.
Nuclear?
Yes, small, compact nuclear fission reactors. Unlike solar, they provide steady power regardless of sunlight, dust, location, or time of day.
And they can generate a lot more power from a smaller package, right?
Exactly. High power density, reliable, continuous. Given the energy needed for life support fuel production experiments, it's seen as a very robust solution for a long-term base.
Okay, reliable power is key. Now, stepping outside, the spacesuits, they're not just clothes, are they?
Not even close. NASA calls them personal spaceships, and that's pretty accurate.
Personal spaceships, I like that.
Think about it. They have to provide pressure, breathable air, drinkable water, handle waste, protect from extreme temperatures, vacuum, radiation.
Everything a habitat does, but portable.
Pretty much. Plus communications, health monitoring, and they need to allow enough dexterity for astronauts to actually do work, collect samples, set up equipment. It's an incredible engineering challenge.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, communication. How do you talk to Earth from potentially 249 million miles away? There's a delay, right?
Oh yeah, a significant delay.
Yeah.
Depending on orbital positions, it could be anywhere from about 4 minutes to over 20 minutes. One way. So real-time conversations out.
Like a really laggy Zoom call.
Worse. But the challenge is also bandwidth. Sending back all the science data, high-res images, maybe even video. Traditional radio waves have limitations.
So what's the upgrade?
Lasers. NASA is actively developing laser communication systems. Think optical comms, like fiber optics, but through space.
Faster data rates.
Potentially 10 to 100 times more data transmitted compared to current radio systems. It would allow for much richer data return, maybe even high-definition video, despite the time lag.
That would be amazing for science and, just connecting back home. Okay, last survival piece. Shelter. Where do they live? Tents.
Slightly more advanced than tents. NASA's looking at various concepts. Fixed surface habitats, likely landed ahead of time by robotic missions.
Like a pre-built base camp.
Sort of. And maybe mobile habitats too, think pressurized rovers. Like an RV, but for Mars exploration.
So you could live and work inside while traveling further.
That's the idea. Allows for longer range exploration. But any habitat, fixed or mobile, needs robust life support, radiation shielding, pressure, those reliable water recycling systems we talked about. Essentially a safe Earth-like bubble on a very un-Earth-like world.
It's just layer upon layer of complex technology needed just to stay alive.
It really is.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Beyond just surviving, what's the big scientific payoff NASA is aiming for once humans are actually on Mars?
The science return is still the fundamental driver. We touched on the big goals. Did Mars ever have life? Does it now? Could it support life, including human life, in the future?
The fundamental questions.
Exactly. And humans on the ground can do science. Robots just can't, or at least not as efficiently. Think about a geologist's trained eye selecting the most promising rocks.
Making decisions in real time.
Right. NASA often uses examples like the Twin Peaks Hills near the Pathfinder landing site, intriguing geology. And right now, Perseverance is studying rocks in Jezero Crater, a place we think was a lake.
It's looking for biosignatures.
Signs of past life.
Yes.
But a human crew could cover more ground, use more sophisticated tools perhaps brought with them, drill deeper, analyze samples with much more complex equipment that a rover can carry. They could follow up on unexpected discoveries immediately.
So it dramatically accelerates the pace and depth of the science.
That's the expectation. Having human scientists there, essentially as field geologists and biologists, would be a huge leap in our ability to truly understand Mars's history and potential for life.
Makes sense. And finally, we've talked about MLXE, fission power, laser comms. It's clear there's a ton of tech development.
Oh, yeah.
Can you give us a sense of the big picture? What are the overarching innovation areas?
Well, NASA often highlights key capabilities they need to develop are perfect. It's things like more powerful and faster propulsion to cut down that long transit time.
Get there quicker, less radiation exposure.
Exactly. Then there's the super reliable closed-loop life support we discussed. Advanced robotics are also huge bots that can help build habitats, scout ahead, assist astronauts.
Sure.
Reliable power, obviously, with fission being a key focus. High bandwidth communications, and of course the entry, descent, and landing systems to get heavy payloads safely onto the surface.
Which is notoriously difficult at Mars.
Very difficult. Plus the habitats, the suits. It's really a whole ecosystem of interconnected technologies that all have to work flawlessly, millions of miles from help.
And NASA sees this whole push as part of its core mission.
Absolutely. It's about pushing boundaries, innovating for exploration, generating knowledge, and ultimately, they'd argue, benefiting humanity back on Earth while inspiring people through discovery.
Okay, wow. So let's try and wrap this up. It's clear NASA isn't just dreaming about Mars. This is a serious, planned effort.
Very methodical.
Driven by deep scientific questions about life and our place in the universe, and tackling some, frankly, staggering technological hurdles.
It really forces innovation.
It's definitely not just about flags and footprints. It's about fundamental understanding and pushing human capability. So, thinking about everything we've covered, the immense challenges, the potential rewards, what single aspect of this whole Mars endeavor strikes you as the most compelling or maybe the most critical?
For me, I think it's the sheer integration required. It's not just solving one problem. It's solving like 10 incredibly hard problems simultaneously and making them all work together seamlessly.
What system of systems?
Exactly. Propulsion, life support, power, landing, habitats, ISRU, they all have to mesh. And cracking that complex puzzle, that integrated challenge, that feels like the heart of it. The innovations needed will be profound.
That's a great point, the interconnectedness of it all. Okay, so for everyone listening, after hearing about NASA's plans, the science goals, the challenges, what do you think? What's the single most powerful reason for humanity to reach for Mars?
Or maybe, what technological hurdle do you think will actually be the toughest nut to crack?
Yeah, good question. Something to chew on. And if you want to dig deeper, remember, NASA's own website has a wealth of information out there. You can do your own deep dive.
Definitely worth exploring.